especially locations.
I think doctors get so like they get so used to seeing stuff that it's just kind of like a 9 to 5. Like they're just gonna go in there and be like, all right, next, next, and then you'll realize that, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we as parents know a lot. We know too damn much about this disease. We know damn much about treatments, about drugs, about all of it. We know too damn much. Recently I was told that that it was wrong of me to say that I know more than a doctor. But the difference being that number one, I don't get to clock out at the end of the day, right? We don't get to just shut it off and go home and start again tomorrow. No, we live this 24/7, 365. We also know our children's baselines. We know what's right and wrong. We know what these drugs are doing to them. We understand, yes, and you know what? You are absolutely not supposed to do your WebMD and Google research on this type of stuff. But at the same time, I really feel like you'd be you'd be I almost feel like you'd be wrong not to, because you want to understand, you want to have all those questions. And when a doctor's in the room, and I've said it before too, you are their only patient at that moment. If you've got 100 questions and you keep them an hour past their appointment, I don't give a shit who's down the hall waiting for their appointment. I don't care about his golf game. I don't care about what you've got to. I don't care.
No.
You're there for me at that moment. Because if I go home and try to call you, good fucking luck. I want to know now what's going on, and I should be able to ask as many questions that are going to make me feel comfortable. And if your child is wanting to ask questions too, they should feel empowered, because it's them, it's their voice. And if they want to ask, listen, something simple as what's wrong with me, or why don't I feel good, the doctor should be able to take that time. And we were lucky too. We had our original oncologist, which we do not like. And the one that we ended up using at the second hospital, we love her. I'm still in contact with her. And it's one of those things where they take on a personal role. A lot of them, they do have to compartmentalize that kind of stuff, and they can't be, physically or mentally attached to these kids because they see so many. But some of them do, and some of them make it a real personal mission to make sure that you understand as much as you can. And I think to an extent they give false hope, because the last thing they want to do is be negative all the time, and when they based on what they've seen. And I don't think that's wrong necessarily, but I really think that, and I had this discussion with actually a survivor. He's in college now, and I said, when if a doctor comes in and says, you're never going to walk again, or a doctor comes in and says, I know how to cure you, don't say shit like that. Say, there's a good chance that you may not, or I've got an idea on how we can do this, but maybe you're not going to like it. But don't make statements that you can't back up 100%.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, even with Victoria, there was times where the doctors wanted to, they would come in, they'll leave you waiting in that room for 2 fucking hours, twiddling your thumb, staring at a wall, and they come in and be like, okay, well, this is what's going on. All right, well, we'll see you. Now you're gonna sit your happy ass right back down in that damn chair, and we're gonna talk. Oh, I have other patients. That's cool.
Yep.
No, you don't. Not right now, you don't.
Yeah. Now, do you think that the size of a hospital matters as far as treatments when it comes to doctor, that personal connection? Like with my experience, it was MD Anderson, which is a huge, it's in Houston, Texas. It's like a city within a city. It's ridiculous. Do you think those doctors that deal with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, like a day or whatever, do you feel like they would be better treated at a smaller place where it is more one on one versus such a huge?
I Yeah, I don't think
So
so. I'm sorry. I think that um I think it's attitude. To be completely honest with you, I think if you want to be that doctor that is connected to a patient and takes your time with that patient, and then it shouldn't matter the size of the hospital or how many patients you have or you may see. And uh, you know, an emergency room is for treat 'em and street 'em, not an oncology department. And that's, unfortunately, you see that, is that they have too much, or they take on too much. Um, I think it's a real thing that an episode I saw on ER where they're in a room as a tumor board, and they bring up all these cases and they see a bad one and everybody says not it. I think it's a real thing. I think it's absolutely a real thing. I think they look at the ones that they think are going to either be easiest to treat or are going to look good on a medical term paper, and that sucks. And that's something, that culture that I think we also need to fix, and we need to understand that as a doctor, you took an oath to help. You took an oath to do everything you could in your power to make things better, not worry about what papers you're going to be published in, and how many patients you lose to a disease that 9 times out of 10 we don't have control over. It's how you choose to work within the system. You know what I mean? And use your resources. Like I just don't understand why there's not a consortium of 100 hospitals that are putting data in a database somewhere. This is what we've done to treat it, and they can go in and search it. The fact that treatments for JC were based off of CHOP, Milwaukee, and sick kids in Canada. That was it. Like I don't understand why there's not just mass research to 100 different hospitals or doctors even that specialize in something. It's just not it's few and far between. It's not a commonplace.
You mean kind of like a Google web search where a doctor can go in and type some stuff in and it just pulls up like something like that?
That would be phenomenal.
Like you said, there's a
I
territorial.
agree.
They want to be
You
that
could-
one to say I did this.
Yeah, but when it comes to somebody's life, especially a kid's, that
You
goes
should.
out the window. And knowledge is power. And if your power could prolong somebody else's life, get over your high horse and just do it.
I mean, yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, but unfortunately, a lot of people think, okay, well, I've worked 30 years on this, and there's somebody on the other side of the country that is having the same thing. Why should I share my 30 years of experience with it? I mean, I think that's a real thing. I used not to be kind of jaded when it came to the medical profession, but after seeing like how some of the stuff firsthand and just how crazy it really is, like it's almost hard not to go down that wormhole, so to speak, of well, are doctors really doing what they're supposed to be doing, or is this a real thing? It's hard not to look at it that way.
Hmm. Well, that's just the real life that cards that we've been dealt, and it's an unfortunate side effect of this entire world and community and diagnosis is that the things you learn is kind of like being on the dark web. Honestly, you see stuff that no one else sees, and because you see it and they don't, it's truly believed that it's not really happening. And that's
Well, let me ask you this, Curtis. Before JC got sick, did you know when Childhood Cancer
no,
Awareness Month
I
was?
absolutely did not.
Neither did I. Do you know, because as you know, every month there's specifics, but do you know that June is Ewing Sarcoma Month?
Now
I know that now. I mean, yeah,
But unfortunately, sometimes it takes us because we're naive. We were
right?
naive too.
Oh, no,
We didn't see it because it didn't affect our lives. But now that we see it and now we hear it, now we want more people to know it, to see it.
yeah,
It's not all horseshoes and hand grenades, or yeah, it's not all pretty
absolutely.
things.
Even at
You
MD
know,
Anderson, um, I knew they had a pediatric, like because the type of cancer is actually associated. It's rare for it to be in adults, so she actually got seen on a peds floor once. So I knew they had a floor for it, but it never clicked in my mind that like, oh shit, hold on, I'm on a kid that's designated for, or I'm on a floor that's designated for kids. Like it never even clicked in my mind that like, damn, kids are actually out here like, yeah, dealing with this shit. Like it never until I actually got involved in this. Yeah, I had no idea. There's zero.
we we were not. We were, and we say it, and it's the simple thing you can ever say is that we were not cancer parents until the day we were. And even
yep.
with everything that Anna was feeling, right, and everything that JC was feeling, the last thing on your mind is that you're going to see an oncologist walk through the door. You're not you're not thinking that's what this is. This is something. It's got to be something else. It can't be this. And you know, I say it that everybody is guilty as adults that we go through life not realizing. that there are children 7 floors up, like in Milwaukee, that are fighting for their life. And then when you're on that floor walking, all the rooms are like big giant fish bowls, and you see all these parents that are in there with their kids in different stages of no hair and hooked up the hoses and wires, and they're beeping, and they're going through the same thing you're going. And now all of a sudden you're part of this family, you're part of this community, but you have no idea what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to act, what you're supposed to, are we doing the right thing? Did we do something wrong? I remember they asked us if we wanted to have a genetic testing done, and the first question was, if you do genetic testing, is that going to tell you which one of us, my wife or I, gave her this disease? Because I didn't know anything about that stuff, and they said no, it's not going to show you. It's that's not what it's for. Because to be honest with you, I'd said if that's what it was going to show, I don't want you to do it, because I feel like that would just put resentment between two people. Like, look what you did, and that, I mean that, and that resentment is something that is huge within this community, right? It is something that we've said before, we've talked about. It is the 80-20 rule in the pediatric cancer community. And that 80%, and we're not talking about a cure rate, 80% is the amount of families that break up because of this. Maybe not just because, but this disease, this fight, this journey, this shit show, it tears people apart. And it's not because you don't love that person. It's not because you don't want to be with it. Changes you as a person. And to be lucky to be part of the 20% club is something that we should praise and sing from the rooftops, because a lot of people that we've met, even on social media, that we know are part of that 80%. And I don't know the answer as to why we ended up on the other side. I just, it's something, it's like, it just kind of, sometimes it works itself out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. Great.
Um, so the other, I went, we went way far outside of
We did.
a top.
That's my
No, it's nobody's fault. We went way far the other direct, but I wanted to go back and I wanted to bring something up because I'm sure everybody knows, but if somebody doesn't know what a DNR is. So a DNR is a form that stands for Do Not Resuscitate. Now, you mostly associate this with people that are old, both adults that could be in a vegetative state or something along these lines. You hear it, you see it on TV, you see it on ER, whatever. Do they have a DNR? You are not supposed to sign one of these forms for your child. You're not supposed to sign a form that says do not save them. But I want to explain deeper the meaning, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. First, I want to say that when we first signed this DNR, my daughter was pissed. Not JC, but our 16-year-old now was very angry with us because she said, "You're just giving up. You're just giving up on her." And we had to explain that that's not what a DNR is, and that's not why we signed the form. We actually had to sign it twice because we had to sign it for hospice, and we had to sign it so that we could leave AMA at the hospital. And the form being signed in a situation like this is because that you know that if your child got to that state and they did everything that they could, and nurses or paramedics did everything in their power to bring your child back, they're not going to be the child that went into that sleep or went into that cardiac arrest. They're going to be injured, and they're not going to be the same, and they're not going to have the quality of life that they would have if you just let it happen peacefully. And so I want people to take that DNR and understand that it's not about giving up. It's not about quitting.
We would never give up.
It's just about letting your child have peace with everything that they've gone
I don't know if I could do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I mean, like I said, it's one of those things you don't want to think of.
I
you're
hope
in
you
that
never have
position.
to.
You know, I know you always say you don't want people to know what it feels like. You just want them to, um, but yeah, like there's no, no, I, no.
But that, you know what? Think about that. Think about you're in that position, right? You're in the position of the politician right now. You're in the position of somebody that has the power to make a change right now. And you have kids that are healthy.
Yeah,
They're sassy as a son of a bitch,
yeah,
right? You know what I mean? But they've got their whole life ahead of them. But something happens. Something happens like that that
yeah.
you can't predict. You can't we don't want you to understand it, but you can't predict. And you have to sign that form because you know that bringing them back from a state that put them in that position would be more detrimental to their quality of life. And it is one of those, it is very situational. I can't,
Listen, if it was one of those things where the outcomes would have changed, okay, I would have been all for it. We didn't give up. But if we brought her back, all that's going to do is cause more pain and prolong the inevitable that's going to happen regardless. So why continue putting them through the pain when the outcome does not change? You know, it's
I guess that's what I don't understand why this is such an issue when it comes to raising money or funding for it. Like I don't understand. If you have it, you don't even have to have a child. Like my connection, I was like, I don't have a kid battling cancer, but I know at any given minute, any given moment, the reality could become my night.
yeah.
After being involved and doing everything, and I know that, but you don't have to have a child that has had cancer or got, you don't have to have that to feel like this shouldn't be an issue. Like, I don't understand. Like it seems like it should be like fucking simple. Like, oh, y'all need some more money to make kids better. Okay, cool. Here, like like it seems so
Dude, I,
so simple.
I truly
Like,
believe that to turn to, it's a topic that nobody wants to talk about or even believe that is a real thing. And I truly believe that to turn your head and walk away and close your ears and shut your eyes is a lot easier than doing something. And if you actually do something, you donate or you get involved and partner, now you have to shoulder that weight too. And I think by them saying no or turning it down is an easy way for them to get out of doing the real work and the real things that are going to make a difference. And I honestly don't think any of it is, uh, you know, they're not being assholes. They're not being uh, terrible people. I think some of them probably are, but a lot of them, 99%, they're doing it because if I don't support it, I don't have to think about it, and I
they're
elsewhere.
scared.
But when you see every single politician, every most companies, if you go to all companies and you look at any of the ones that donate and you look at their missions or you're looking at what they donate to, a lot of them is youth. It's youth sports. It's youth cooking. It's youth in areas where it's a shithole to grow up in. It's where there's no boys and girls clubs type things, and there's no areas for them to get out and get away from crime, and they want to do that. So you care about kids, but it's not about say it's about fixing what is tangible versus getting in and actually making a difference in kids that you think the world is changing. And the problem is the biggest issue is that we have the commercial people that tell you that everything is okay, that everything is better. And I've said it before. This year, 2024, is the first year that I've ever seen that organization put a commercial up that fast forwarded 2 years and said this child passed away. The first time I've ever seen them do that. It's always about they're happy, they're smiling, we're curing them, they don't get a bill. Do you honestly think, as parents going through this, that we give two fucks about the money? We don't care. We will find a way to make it happen. We will find a way to make money for ourselves, to take care of our family. We will find a way to take care of our kid. I don't care if you're giving me free lunch and free gas money. I don't care about that. And that should not be the one thing that is promoted the most. And but we see that commercial. We don't have Sarah McLachlan music playing in the background. We don't, so we think everything's okay. We see the happy kids from the other one. Fuck it. St. Jude and Shriners. Okay? You see happy commercials from both of them. These kids are growing up. They're going to the one kid that's the spokesperson just graduated college. Great. That's amazing. I truly believe these organizations have what it takes to make a massive difference in the world, but I just don't think that their marketing is 100% honest. And I think that's a detriment to what we're trying to accomplish.
There's ugly with all the good.
Well, I mean that's just it. If you're scrolling through, you're scrolling through. If you came to something, and you said it, I've said it. I said I'm switching to puppies because I feel like if we were raising money for animals, we'd have no problem. We wouldn't have to do all this crazy shit. People would throw money at us for animals, But when it comes to like they don't want to see it, so they change the channel. But I feel like it's that reality. Maybe it's such a shock to people because it's something that they don't see. So if you see it more and more and more, then it's going to stick in your head. Kind of like you see the sad puppy dog that's in the rain, and it's emaciated or emaciated and it's hungry. If you see more of the actual reality of it, then you'll want to actually do something about it. Versus that's just a one-off. I don't want I'm just changing the channel. You've seen it with social media. Why are you showing this? Oh my God, how dare you show this child dying or this child going through this? Why they?
How about getting a video banned for having a port
Yeah,
action?
why the hell not? And I get it. There's people out there that use things to their advantage. There's bad people who are just shitty or it doesn't matter. But if you don't see that bad with it, then you're automatically going to assume that it's not an issue. If all you see is happy little bald kids running around and just laughing and having the time of their life, then that's what you're going to associate it with. But if you show the kid in a bed attached to 15 different machines with tubes going everywhere and show that's the reality of it. And I think I really think that would be, I don't want to say helpful, but I think that would make a difference because people would be like, oh shit, okay, hold on, what did I just see? But it also takes people to open their eyes. To know that you don't have to have a kid or you don't even have to have a connection to the cancer world to want to make a difference. I mean, like I said, it seems so simple. Kids are sick, okay, well let's make them better. It just seems, throw money at I don't want to get on that, but our government throws money at so much, and it's not for a good reason or for a good cause or because they're trying to fix it. It's just because, all right, we're going to make this problem go away. So we're going to throw, it's okay, so throw some money over here. Like, say you don't give a damn. Yep. That's fine. Just give the money for the research then and just walk away. Like, I don't understand. $250 million for pediatric cancer research a year, or $200 to $250 million is what the budget, like, that's a lot of money, so to speak, as far as a person. But when you talk about a group of individuals as a whole, that's not shit. Like, I mean, it's
only
no,
4%.
it's laughable. I mean,
No, it makes no sense at all. There's, the United States alone has 73 million kids under 18 years old. So when you're trying to spread that out over that amount of people and the possibility every single day that could be any of them, there's when they say, I've got numbers and facts hanging on the wall over here, and it's like, 1 in 5 kids are going to die of this disease, but that means that we believe, based on the amount of funding that goes towards these kids, that one child is acceptable loss to our government. That's okay. That's a good plus or minus variable that we can have. Anything more, anything less, well, whatever. But that 1 in 5, that means it's not going to be a big deal. And it's unbelievable the amount of people that we've been able to meet and come in contact with when we, either at our events or going to DC every year, and you see how big this community truly is. And it's in now, and they have, when we go to CureFest every year, They have a wall, an angel wall, and a survivor wall. It's 300% bigger this year
than last year. Yeah, and if you weren't there last year, it was big. It was, I mean, it took up a whole lobby of a hotel.
Yeah,
like it took up a whole damn lobby of a hotel.
It's too many damn kids are going through this,
and that's front and back. So
yeah.
I mean, imagine if it was just one sided, like it's going to be, if the weather permits, it'll be outside this year. It's going to wrap around Freedom Fest.
It will, Freedom Plaza. It will wrap around Freedom Plaza, and it's too many damn kids. And the only thing in this community that is rare is the amount of people that give a shit, and that's the issue. Outside of this community, within it, we are not to be messed with. We're not to be ignored, and we're not to be trampled on. Like, we have shit to say and we have things to do. And for those of us who have lost our children, like, in the very beginning, there's nothing you're going to do to us that's going to make it worse than that. Nothing. There's nothing that's going to get in our way, that's going to make a difference in slowing us down, because you've already put us through the worst hell on earth. And so if you don't think that means that we will go through whatever it takes to ensure that our children's legacies are remembered and our children's legacies live on, I don't know what show you've been watching, because we are not in a position to just give up and walk away. That was pretty serious.
I mean, it was, yeah.
That was pretty serious. A lot of serious stuff. A lot of serious talk. You want? Okay, so now that we've talked about all the serious stuff, we've gotten really deep in there.
We did.
Okay, so Rob, I need you to tell us about Honest Sunflower Warriors, exactly what you do, because you know what? That's a bright and happy thing to talk about. So,
absolutely.
So let's talk about her legacy, Honest Sunflower Warriors.
So that logo right there, actually, Mongo, me, and Anna, we created and designed that. It's out of Sunflower Warriors. How it started and became was, so during our 5-day stay at Albany Med, we have a Dunkin' Donuts, the basement. So Anna learned with all the doctors, nurses, PCAs, and even housekeeping ladies, enjoyed which donuts they enjoyed. So she learned. We kept going downstairs. Almost, we would alternate. So one day it'll be nighttime, then we'll do it in the morning for the morning shift. So then it got down to what all of them liked, like candy, treats, anything and everything you could think of. So when we would stay, we would put out a basket, and we let people know, and other families as well, because kids will eat chocolate. Kids will eat candy. Kids won't eat regular food, but it's something. So we always kept it full. When she got diagnosed the second time, we kept, because we were in the outpatient oncology, for 2 weeks straight and then a week off. So we would bring a cart there. We would use their little wheelie cart and, just bring out a couple of things. Now, we were leaving, so we just packaged it up, and there was a kid that said, "Mom, I want a piece of candy off of that cart." And then the lady said to him that, we already packed it up. It's only when she comes. Anna looked right over at me and Jess, said, "Hey, we need to go to BJ's right now." Like, right now? Kid, you just got done with 10 hours of chemo. Right now. We left. We went to BJ's. We literally filled the whole entire trunk up, brought it back to the hospital, and used their cart for a little bit. Then it got to the point where their little cart was just that, a very little cart. So we expanded, created, just a whole bunch of different snacks, grabs and goes. Then they had that out the whole entire time, and we kept that stock. That's what we did. We did get a lot of donations, which if you go on to her website, honestsunflowerwarriors.com, there is a link for her wish list, because we still keep that going, and actually we partnered up with more, which I'll get to in a second. So we fast forward a little bit and her cart broke. Like, okay, well, that car was too small anyways. We tend to a lot of kids. And she was constantly having to fill them up, and which became a storage issue. So what we did was we put three carts together. We have everything from mints to chocolates to those little fruit slurpy thingies. Anything and everything that you can imagine is in those carts. And we keep those stocked at all times. Um, Also at the hospital, just this year, we added an activity cart to the transfusion side. So when the kids are there getting transfusions and whatever, they have drawing books, crayons, fidget toys, little Legos, just a whole bunch of stuff. Just to keep them entertained and busy for those hours. Now we actually just partnered up with our local library. They're doing the summer reading program. Anna was all about the community. So, we wanted to make sure we partnered back home. They're doing special treats and stuff like that. They do movie night and family night. So they will be, we presented them 2 weeks ago, I think it was, with that cart. Um, we do for Christmas, we buy for the preteens because what not a lot of people know is like stuff the bus, stuff a cop car, stuff like that. There's an age cap at the age of 12. So from 12 and up, the kids don't get anything. So for the last couple of years, we have purchased, I don't know, a bunch enough to fill a classroom full of just preteen toys and stuff. But we also participated with the Stuff the Bus. Thanksgiving, we did 50 Thanksgiving dinners. For Christmas, I can tell you our total count for families over Christmas dinner and Christmas presents, stuff like that for the kids. They've well exceeded over, I'd say, 75 families in the past couple of years. So we just actually built because ASO is our local soccer organization. And as I said, she was huge into soccer. I'm still currently a soccer coach for Carter. They needed all new benches, so our foundation built 8 benches for the kids, sturdy enough to last them for hopefully 20 plus years for them. Um, We're we're doing a dot parade coming up to help spread more awareness with it. Let families know locally too, especially if you need something, you're going through something cancer related, non-cancer related. If your family is going through some type of an issue, reach out to us. We take care of them, and it's not just cancer related either. So, we have a family that does like epilepsy, and stuff like that. Anybody that's going through something, sorry. Um, but yeah, so it's just positive. Keep kids happy, keep kids, fed, because she loved feeding people. Yeah, I mean, come on, Michael, you know that.
Oh yeah.
Um, We do have a motorcycle ride coming up August 24th. It's actually our third annual motorcycle ride, which is going to be fun. She was heavy into the motorcycles. Her and I actually designed. I have a childhood cancer awareness tribute bike that is on a Sunflower Warriors. Carter, my garage is a mess, or I'd show it to you. Carter's got his own little mini bike. That is a Anna Sunflower Warriors that he designed, he painted, sanded, did all the work. He's going to be joining the ride this year. He's going to be sending us off and then being our first blocker with our local PD. So that's going to be cool and interesting to watch. But yeah, like you said earlier, it's important to keep your kids being talked about and their legacy alive. And, it's our way to make sure.
Yeah. I mean, but you have, I mean, you've always had, like, your community is phenomenal when it comes to sporting and
Uh,
things like. I mean, when I was there, literally everywhere we went, I either saw a picture of Anna there, or people knew who Rob, like, would come up and talk to Rob. Like, it's a village, but like literally yeah, it was
I live in a Hallmark community, as I tell
yeah, it was
everybody.
amazing to see that involvement of everybody truly caring and wanting to be, a part of it, and continuing to be a part of it. I mean, that's amazing.
I will say this before all this, and I'm not talking up my kid. She is my kid. She's absolutely amazing. But I will say this proudly. She single-handedly brought this community back together. A lot of amazing people have supported us and been there with us from the beginning. And to this day, there's girls who graduated that have a memorial tree or memory tree of loved ones, and she's in there. The school makes sure of it. They do a sunflower walk in honor of her. And, so we do. I have always said this from the beginning. We have been very blessed for our misfortune. We have been able to do a lot of good things and have a lot of amazing experiences. So I do. I'm genuinely lucky for where we live. But yeah, see, our local Walmart during Christmas time puts out a big toy box drive, and a lot of that stuff goes to the hospital and to the Ronald McDonald House as well, because we were a Ronald McDonald family, so we give back to those guys as well. But yeah, so you go around here, everybody knows her. Everybody. You say Anna or Anna Strong. Oh, Labella, yeah, all the time. I get people coming up to me because I proudly wear my hat. I wear my shirt all the time. And, oh, you know Anna? Yeah, I know her really well.
I want you to tell me about her.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you know about her? We, so she was cremated, but we do have a very beautiful, beautiful bench for her. It's a bench that has a stone or tomb that has her picture on it. And it's very fitting. It goes along the lines of if you feel like you're in the dark, I'll be your light. If you're not happy, I'll be your smile. I'll always be there for you. And we did that because of the buddy bench at the school. So where she guarded that, now her friends go there quite often. And where it's located is in a beautiful spot in the cemetery, right in the front, right in the beginning. A lot of the people who walk, rest there, and it's in a beautiful spot. It's in a beautiful spot because it's right behind the school, or the school is right behind it. And next to her is a beautiful deer run. She loved nature, loved eating venison. Venison. Oh. And in front of her, it was a very beautiful hill. So she had beautiful scenery everywhere. And if you go there at nighttime, she is the brightest that is lit up. She always shined bright, and we made sure of it.
Yeah, damn it, it's deer meat, not venison. I said it.
It's venison.
It's venison. You're overruled, man. This venison, dude. You're outnumbered.
You know what?
Yeah.
We can't be friends anymore. It's deer meat. It's whatever. Here, we gotta have the good. Because we don't have.
But if anybody wants any merch or anything, we do have hats. We do have shirts. Feel free to email us. We are on the sunflowerwarriors.com. You can see all of our events, our bowling. We did have our first annual golf. Like, we got pictures of all the drop offs. Yeah, Anna's mission statement. Anything and anything you want to know about it, feel free on the sunflowerwarriors.com. You can email me. It's robert.labella@sunflowerwarriors.com. And we usually have a really fast response too. So
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody, we always talk about, you know, I've been told by people on our board that we're never supposed to say that we're a small organization. We're supposed to talk about and boast about how big we are, even working out of a basement. We're supposed to talk about how big we are.
And right.
The reality of the situation is that, isn't it incredible, from snacks in the hospital to how much you've grown and how much you've expanded into other things, and it always starts to steamroll, right, and turn into other things and other
Yeah.
things. And so let's just be honest, we're not huge, but we've got a big impact, and it's because of our kids, and it's because of the support that we have, they're always there for us to ensure that we're able to. So definitely, if you're listening, please check out their website, check out all of their social media, and if you can help out, help out. And we always say that the absolute best donation that we can get is word of mouth. It's about spreading the word, spreading awareness, spreading our children's names. Make sure you spread the stories, bring more people in. Yes, we do. We run 100% on donations. We are 501c3s, but having that word of mouth and having awareness spread and having our kids' names remembered and having the mission and the legacy is truly, I think, the most important and valuable thing that we can have. So,
absolutely.
please, check them out out of sunflowerwarriors.com. Check them out and give them a follow, a like, and donate if you can. Buy something and wear it proudly. It's the ultimate kind of way that you can show your support for our community and for our kids and keeping their names alive. So that is definitely something that I encourage everybody to do.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Mr. Special Guest Co-host for the day?
No, we're good.
Wow.
I don't know what else I think we've touched on. I mean, a lot of things. I mean, like I said, I've tried to sit back and just, because I'm able to look at it from the outside. I don't have a child that's battling cancer or is battling cancer, and I pray to God I never do. Um, but if that time ever was to come, at least I could stand up and say that, hey, I've tried to make a change. I've fought for it before it was an issue. And if you're listening, you don't have to have a personal connection to want to make a difference. I mean, it's simple. It's a kid that's sick.
Right.
You don't have to have kids. You don't have to have a child that's bad. It's a child that is battling something that's out of their control. This isn't something that they've done. This wasn't a. They're not 19 years old. Went out, had a couple of drinks, got in a car wreck. They weren't out doing this. They weren't out making bad decisions. This is something that's out of their control. It's out of everybody's control. And it seems to me like it should be so simple. Like this shouldn't be an issue that you guys as parents should have to fight. Like it just it make it make sense. Like
No, I don't think it ever will.
no.
Unfortunately, I don't think it ever. I think that
Yeah.
we are we are an island unto ourselves within this world, but this community is one hell of a big island, and there's a lot of people here that want change made and that want people to listen. And I find it, honestly find it comical for anybody that turns their head and says it's not a problem, or for politicians that don't take your phone call or your email or don't think it's important enough to get involved. Just understand one thing is that kids are at the core of every single thing that we do. Whether it's children that are battling this disease or whether it's children that are perfectly healthy, they're at the core of everything that we do because they're the future of everything that we do. They're the ones that ensure that businesses keep growing and expanding. They're the ones that ensure that you continue to be voted into or out of office. They are the ones that are going to take care of us when we get old. Okay, when we get old, well, we're already gray, but when we get old, they're the ones that are supposed to be taking care of us. And I really would rather not have robots doing it. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of our kids and giving them the fighting chance in the future that they deserve. So that's my soapbox, but it's just understand that that's what it is. So if you, like everybody has said, if you don't have a personal connection to pediatric cancer, You don't have to. Even if you don't have kids, you don't have to have a personal connection to that either. You just have to understand that without these children growing up, there will be no future for any of us, or the country, or the world that we live
I would love to see like Senate floor pack these kids. You let them just stand back. Don't even talk for them. Just give them a microphone and say, talk, and just listen to what they say. And I don't know. I think that would be an amazing sight. Yeah. See.
I agree.
in. Well, life goal, man.
Do it, man.
We're gonna get them there. We're gonna find a way because we don't have enough things going on. But
I'll drive the bus, man.
You're gonna okay. We got a bus driver, so now we just got to get the bus. We're gonna load it with a bunch of kids that have a lot of impact and sass, and we're gonna take them down there, and we're gonna have them show them exactly what they need to be fighting for and exactly what's important in life. So,
Oh yeah.
so to be honest with that, usually what I will do is I will ask Rob if you have any advice that you would like to give everybody listening, whether it's parents that are going through this, parents that are in the same position as us, or just parents in general, anything that you would like to leave them with.
Don't live your life with 1 ounce of regret, because tomorrow is not promised, and you don't want to eat that every day.
Easy and simple. You know what I mean? I love it.
Is that it? Like, thanks for bringing that deep at the end.
This that's
That's my biggest thing, because I live life right now with so much regret and things that, I mean, things that I can't change, and I know I can't change, but I live with enough regret. And if somebody, if I can stop somebody else from living like that, trust me.
You know damn well Anna would tell you to shut up and sit down.
I know she would. Trust me, I know she would.
oh,
But I would also be the first one to snag her and tell her how sorry I am. So I didn't. I had that opportunity, thankfully, but I still live with it every day. And that's something no parent should live with. Ooh,
Oh.
I dropped my earpod.
right. No, I think it is a great way to end things. I think it's a great advice to end things. I think we all wish we could go back and change things, but to live like that every single day it's torture in itself. And um, the best thing we can do is just move forward. We never move on from something like this. We only move forward, and we learn how to adapt to life. So with that, I want to thank you for being here and sharing Anna's story and continuing to keep her legacy and her memory alive. And she's very much alive in everything you do. And I love to see that. To be honest, to see people get emotional, it means that's how much you love and care for and want to make sure that everything you do honors her in the right way. So I appreciate you being open about it and being honest and sharing your story.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share her story. Any chance I can, I will.
Absolutely. It has been my honor and pleasure to have you here today. Um, it's you know what, it's okay to have Tim here. I don't know. Sometimes it's all right.
Better than I expected.
Well, there you go. We didn't get him to cry, although I wasn't looking at him in the face, but it's possible that we got him in his feels a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Well, when it comes to that one, not hard to do.
You know, honestly, like as amazing as it is, it really does seem like a really good opportunity to just scare the hell out of people sometimes. You walk up,
Just put it in the window.
yeah,
Just put it in.
Oh, so it is in the window next to her sunflower tree. So if you were to drive by and look, you would see her big head right next to her sunflower.
absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that's
She wouldn't have any other way, man. She would, yeah.
Oh no, exactly.
The only thing she would change is she'd probably ask you to put on some kind of mechanical thing to where it goes back and forth.
So it turns to follow him.
Yeah. Nah, Rob, I love you, man. I'm always here for you, bud.
I do, and I love you too, guys. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right. But I want to thank you once again for being here with us today and sharing on a story. And hopefully, we'll continue to get these stories out there and continue to build this community and get enough people to realize how important it is. And we will finally make that change possible that we have promised and that we will not stop until it happens. So, thank you once again, and thank everybody for listening. And we will see you all next week.